What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. And today we have the November 2024 Tulsa International Airport update for you all. I already hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video, as today we have a very exciting Tulsa update in store. We've got some various aircraft changes, some various movements, and plenty to dive into in today's update. With that being said, I hope all of you are excited. Let's just go ahead and get started with the action, everybody. We'll start right here with this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. This aircraft's currently loading up for a non-stop flight today out to Denver after coming in from Las Vegas. So certainly looking strong here for this aircraft. Our next offering is the Southwest 737-800. This aircraft's currently coming in from Orlando, Florida on the Saturday only, and now it's going to be making a flight today heading over to Las Vegas. So glad to see those two also pairing up well, and Southwest definitely dominating the market here with what they do. It is very simple, but very consistent, and we absolutely love to see it. Here at B5, we have a Southwest 737-700 coming in from Houston Hobby. This aircraft now going to be taking it onto Austin Bertram International, so definitely looking strong here for this aircraft. And our next frame is going to be the Southwest 737-700. This aircraft's getting ready for Chicago Midway and came in earlier from Dallas Love Field, so definitely looking nice for him. Last but certainly not least, we have this beautiful Southwest 737 MAX 8. Pushing back, this aircraft is doing the turnaround to St. Louis. So very cool to see all these aircraft. Still really excited about Nashville and will continue to be so for a very long time, but definitely want to highlight our newer services like Chicago Midway and Austin. So very cool to see those. So looking very strong, along with Orlando that started as well for like the third time, but we actually have it consistently this time. So that's really nice to see. Yeah, great ops for Southwest, and very excited for Nashville, along with the additional frequencies they'll continue to push through here at TUL. Our next aircraft is going to be the United Express CRJ-550. This aircraft's coming in from Chicago O'Hare. This will go back to 2 daily for the immediate future following this month, but great to see a 3rd daily flight in here, so that's absolutely awesome. And completely forgot to mention in the last update, hopefully I don't forget to add it in, but we had a 4th daily Chicago flight last month, which is really cool, and it performed very well. So more coming on that in the analysis video I do for sure, but yeah, cool to see what's going on there, and overall that's absolutely awesome. So great to see that, and it'll be covered in the news video as well. Houston's going a little slacker this month. It is on just 2 E175s for the overnight, no mainline, so here it is. But the mainline's back next month, so no huge negatives here, and we'll just go back and forth for a little bit. A little bit less demand, so kind of cool to get the 175 in here. It at least is not like a 145, so we can definitely live with the 175 here, and again, it looks really nice. So great to see this aircraft, and to compensate for that, United sent the 737-800 in from Denver this month. So cool to get a little bit up gauge on the Denver flight. I don't think it's been a 737 since that additional flight they had in May, and the last time it was just a fully 737 may have been like March. So cool to see that be the 737 again for the first time in a while. So it might have been April, actually. I think April of 24 was the last time. Anyway, though, regardless of whenever it was, cool to see the 737 back, 800 back in here this month. Really nice aircraft, and once again, great to see the additional 737 there from Denver looking very strong. We have a few more regionals to finish it out. Our first 175 is doing the early and late night flight in from Denver, so that's what we have here on that flight. So great to have them both right next to each other going strong. There's our other Houston flight there on the late night and then mid-morning departure. So there it is, looking very nice there. I think both of them are Mesa typically, but one might be SkyWest, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's some sort of ERJ 175. And we have the other Chicago flight on the CRJ-550. So cool to see all these aircraft, and it's really great that United has so many aircraft here overnighting. Obviously, some of these are earlier terminations, but additional capacity from where they've been in the past, especially when we have both the main lines, but one's still very strong. So here's a nice overview, a bunch of Evo Blue, but a handful of older liveries in there. So case in point, definitely catch the Continental Globe while you can, because it's going out of style very fast. So very nice, and really excited for what's to come over there at the United side of the gates. As of for this camera though, it's very goofy, so I don't know why macro mode just continues to be what it is. Okay, well, I'll just hold it up, I guess, if it won't cooperate. So here's a beautiful PC-12. This aircraft's taxiing in today after a flight in from Pensacola, Florida. He's now going to be heading on a shorter flight to Lawrence, Kansas, so cool to see that. Here we have FedEx Boeing 767-300 freighter, and this aircraft is taxiing out for departure, heading over to Memphis. So very cool to see the 767 going strong, and again, eager to see when the MD-11, if and when that will come back. But that was still extremely cool to have over the summer. So feeling fortunate that we were able to exhibit that. Here's the beautiful Gulfstream G650ER. Huge shout out to Jet Set Models for making this a reality. Definitely check out their website and what they're doing. Anyway, this aircraft is currently taxiing out with service over to the great airport of, let's send him over to Van Nuys today, and came in after a flight from Wichita. So a very short little hop there for repositioning purposes. let's go ahead and move the chair over quite a bit so we don't have to move it even more. It's kind of a tough transition. Apologies. There we go. So here's a FedEx 757-200 freighter. The newer GeminiJets release. Cool to see it. Heading over to the great, oh, it looks like American's actually adding extra flights according to Twitter. I'll have to take a look at what that's going on with that here in a moment. Okay, this aircraft's going to be making a flight today over to Memphis today. He came in from Wichita, so that's a very cool one. Here's an aircraft change for 2 routes, actually. So here is the American operated by PSA and SkyWest CRJ700. Very nice to see. Been a while. This aircraft's currently coming in after a flight from Washington National for PSA, and now it's going to be heading over for SkyWest to Phoenix. So cool to see Phoenix still double daily on the 700 now. So adequate capacity change. And Washington National CR7, really, really good A tier or S tier work there by American for, you know, obviously adjusting. November's one of our lighter months out of the year, so great that they were able to compensate for that. I think it might be the second lightest. I might be wrong on that, but it's definitely in the bottom third. So that's not a bad problem to have, though. That's pretty standard across the industry. February being the first for us. Well, I think November, January, and February are the 3 lowest probably, but I'll have to take a look at that in the news. But anyway, that's very cool. At this UPS Airbus A300 freighter coming in today from Louisville, going to be heading back out there. So cool to see that, looking very nice. I don't know where my tire for my Allegiant A319 went. I'm going to have to hopefully find that very soon because I don't want to permanently lose that. So here it is, though. This aircraft currently coming in from Los Angeles, and it's going to be heading back out there. So great to see their 3 routes continuing to go strong, and very excited to see what their summer schedule is going to be looking like. It's probably already out at this point. So we'll talk about that in a future update when I'm not pre-recording. Here's this American E175. And this aircraft is currently coming in today from New York's LaGuardia, and now it's going to be making a flight today over to Miami. So great to see those flights going strong there for Republic, and I believe it's Envoy for Miami. So very nice to see that. Heading straight back over to the A-gates where we're going to find this Delta Connection ERJ 175. Very cool to see them parking here again, and this aircraft is making the flight today over to Salt Lake City. So great to see SLC going strong here for Delta, and it's been a really great segment. So eager to see what they'll do with it in the future, but for now, I think they're in the right space with that. Next, we have this American Eagle ERJ 175. This is going to be our Los Angeles flight for SkyWest, which I believe is the last, yeah, we have a Chicago plane coming up. So this is Los Angeles. So great to see LAX going strong there at A5. They'll push it back soon. Nice segment, very good connectivity, and I'm sure double daily at some point for this will not be out of the question. So it's a matter of when, hopefully. So we'll see what happens, or maybe we get really lucky and Delta or somebody else adds the flight. Okay, next up we have this American One World 737-800. Great to see Charlotte with double daily mainline once again. So first time that's happened since October, so that's really cool. So for this particular plane, it comes in at 1 o'clock. So great to see the additional capacity, even on top of the 3rd daily flight, which is just absolutely insane. So anyway, this aircraft's coming in, so very cool to see that. It's 2 737s in the CRJ900. This is record capacity by a mile for Charlotte. Let's see, so it'd be I think these are like 165 for American seat-wise, so it'd be like, I don't know, somewhere in the ballpark of nearly 400 total daily seats both ways, which is 800 to total, like 750 probably, so that's just absolutely insane considering that in the past it's been closer to, normally it's about whatever 175 plus 76 would be, so that would be like, I don't know, I'm not here to do math, but like a third of that. So just considering the capacity jump for Charlotte's been incredible considering that operation and how much we've been able to do there. So just really great to see. But anyway, that's enough on that. But it's still really exciting and all the additional capacity. So we won't have that mainline back for a while, but rightfully so with the 3rd daily flight. So I think the frequency is probably just as important as the capacity there, even though capacity is strong. But nevertheless, speaking of capacity, the Dallas flight continues to do so. So this month it's 2 737s and A319. Number 1 leaving at 5 a.m. Actually, it might be the 319 at 5 a.m. I don't know. But anyway, number 2, very strong. And number 3. So I know that was kind of boring, but I don't want to bore everybody too much because it's been 3 daily now for a handful of months, and it will continue to be so for hopefully a very long time. So this is great to see all this additional capacity, and it is a short segment after all. So it does make sense why they could send this much. And there's been a couple of other mainlines during the day. I know that 5:45 arrival's always been consistent on mainline, and that we also have some midday flights that typically are, just depends on the season. But yeah, been very happy with the Americans' work here and their effort. So definitely excited for what they'll have for us down the pipeline next. Macro mode is extremely frustrating at times. But at A8, we have the Envoy 170 coming in from Chicago, of course, which is a very cool one to feature every single time. So been happy with the services. Progression, it's 3 daily, so that's great, and very excited to see maybe mainline next summer. I mean, that would be really sweet. That would be the first time, or I'm getting really hypothetical, of course, but it hasn't been mainline since 2017. I'm not expecting it to go back to mainline, but it would be really cool if they brought in a 319 at some point. So can't rule it completely out, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they went for a 4 frequency. I think that would be just as productive, but I think we're to capacity on that point for that route. So let's start by making it 3 daily year round though. Anyway, regardless of the case, the Chicago frequency is definitely improving and they're competing well against United. Delta, with their only competition here to LaGuardia, they've been doing very well here, I believe. I'm excited to see the data for this route and what it's going to look like during this month. This is a pre-recorded video, so very excited regardless. But anyway, great to see this going strong, and it's definitely a really nice staple here at the airport. So once again, looking forward to it, and definitely will be a very nice piece of the puzzle here regardless of the case. Our final aircraft for today's airport update is going to be this Delta Boeing 717-200. We know what this aircraft's doing. It's heading out to Atlanta. This has been a nice staple here at the airport. Definitely has been consistent and a really great, point to look at. Probably the coolest airplane that for aviation enthusiasts that flies into the airport. Although I do think we have a great variety between the other carriers too, but this is probably the most unique. So definitely great to see this, and once again, looking forward to seeing what they'll do in the future. I think it is a matter of time before we're going to see some sort of different mainline plane. I really hope they don't go all CRJ900s. It is a possibility though, but I would love to see maybe like 3 CR9s along with 2 A319s or whatever Delta wants to come up with to replace it, or this A220 would be even cooler. So we'll see what the capacity changes look like, but the 717 being that in-between aircraft has been a huge saver for Delta over the last several years, and they've definitely been really effective with it despite its operating costs and other factors like that. But there's no doubt that they didn't have to pay much up front for it. So there is some benefit to all of that and Delta's intelligence in those departments. So yeah, I really hope all of you enjoyed the November Tulsa International Airport update. Safe to say that there are some great changes. The Charlotte double daily mainline is absolutely wonderful and really cool that they continue to rock with that on top of the additional flight, which is really great. So I think all that additional capacity will prove powerful moving into the future, and excited to see the data, but we know it's going to perform well. American just puts people through Charlotte like nobody's business, one of the best hubs that they have, and excited to see what new routes can come in the future. Of course, we already have Southwest's Nashville, so I'm really excited about that, but we can't forget that we do have other developments that could happen too. Legion's missing so much opportunity. They could charge so much for a variety of their cities that they could fly to, but back to others, definitely plenty of demand to Seattle, San Francisco, San Diego. We've talked about those three extensively. Alaska, that's your time. This would be a great market for you. Also, United San Francisco, we would absolutely love to see that. That would be a huge business route. And San Diego is a really tricky one. They don't have many low-cost carriers that fly farther than Las Vegas, so kind of limited, but maybe if Allegiant tries to get back into the market there, maybe we could see that. But regardless of the case, it's definitely an exciting time here, and I'm really excited for what's coming. I hope each and every one of you are as well. With that being said, that'll do for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.